Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be continuing trying to make sulfuric acid, this time with some elemental sulfur. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be burning it inside of this Home Depot bucket in this clay pot to not set everything on fire. And I have a copper chloride solution to reduce the sulfur dioxide into sulfuric acid. I'm pretty much going to be doing what Nerd Rage did in his copper chloride sulfuric acid video, but just with a Home Depot bucket. We're going to see if it works. I'm going to have to watch it very closely to make sure I don't start a fire. Also, I'm going to be wearing a gas mask because sulfur dioxide is very nasty, and I don't currently have a fume hood in here. Please do this outside if you don't have a fume hood, or wear something to protect yourself. And if you have a fume hood, use that. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody trying to set up this janky. I'm just gonna see if it works. It might. We'll see.
Well, there's some nice burning sulfur. Let's get that in the bucket.
All right, it's all sealed up. I smell a little bit of sulfur dioxide around here, so I'm probably gonna clear out, but now it should just be doing its own thing. So I'll come back in a little bit and check on it, and we'll see how it's done. All right, so it is puffed up a bit and it's kind of warm. I also have some leaks. I'll probably need to fix those, but I think it's gonna do okay. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's stirring still. Alright, it's not pressing too hard. I just need to... Okay. We're gonna see how this does. I've said that like 3 times. So, it actually worked out pretty well. If you can't tell, it's a lot more blackish than it was before. Also, we have good bit of white, what should be Copper II Chloride on the bottom. So what I need to do now is just let it stir on here and mix some air back in. It'll turn the Copper I Chloride back into Copper II Chloride, and then I should be able to do this whole thing over again. So we're gonna leave this spinning for probably a couple hours. Maybe pump some air onto it with an air pump. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there we are. We have the bubble stone in here now, and we're just gonna let this thing go. This has been after a couple hours of stirring. I had some more water, and it's completely cleared up now. So I'm just gonna run it through again. Probably do it a couple more times. Eventually I'll be done. So yeah. All right, so I may have found my kryptonite. I boiled it too long. I've done this before with other things. I guess I'm just terrible at keeping an eye on things. But what it did, instead of reducing the volume like I intended, it turned a lot of my copper chloride into copper sulfate. So I didn't lose my sulfuric acid. I just didn't get it in a form that I really wanted. Well, the sulfuric acid's gone, but I can get it back if I electrolyze my copper sulfate. But this is kind of interesting. It's a strange way to make copper sulfate out of sulfur and other random things you can get at the hardware store. So this might be something I do on purpose in the future, but as of right now, I think I'm gonna get all the copper sulfate out and then just run with the rest of my copper chloride that I have, because the green is copper chloride, it's still in solution, and then a ton of copper sulfate has crystallized out, and it's really fine powder actually. Not what I intended, but a pleasant surprise nonetheless. It screwed itself up, don't get me wrong, but it did it in a way that is not all that bad. So I don't know whether to count this as a win or a loss. Probably a little bit of both. Oh well. So I left this sitting here for a couple days. I didn't really have time to do anything with it, but it formed a bunch of crystals. It's very cool. But, and now time to separate the two solutions. Right here I'm straining out the Copper I Chloride. That's from my solution after boiling it down. And now the liquid I have is mainly my sulfuric acid. So I can boil that down, let the rest of the salts in there crystallize, and I'll have my product. Here's the sulfuric acid that I made after I electrolyzed all of my copper sulfate. It still has some copper salts in it. I think that's some anhydrous copper sulfate, which is why it's white. But I dipped my rod in, got a bit, and found out that it definitely burns paper. So that's nice. And I took a little bit of a closer look at it. I think I have, I don't know, maybe 15 milliliters right now. So it's pretty good. Now on to the final step of boiling down my more or less concentrated solution. Here is both of my solutions now, from my sulfuric acid from copper sulfate that I got earlier and what I boiled down from my copper chloride. I decided why not and thought I could stick a piece of paper in there to show how it definitely burns things. This is a very bad idea because it dirtied it up, and if for some reason you're working with hot sulfuric acid, don't do this. But yeah, that's what I decided to do, and it made it dirty.
Yeah, that's not very good.
And here is our final product. Around 20 milliliters of fairly dirty sulfuric acid. It is definitely concentrated though, and you could use this with any application that doesn't require a lot of purity, like making nitric acid, or a couple other things. Thank you to everybody who made it this far into the video. If you liked what you saw, consider liking the video, leaving a comment. I like to read the comments. Or if you think I earned it, subscribing. Thanks again.